Today on the YouTube, we're going to talk about the importance of going after your goals and what you truly want. So you have to remember life is a journey. It's not about the destination. It's about the things that you learn along the way. Everyone wants to be a millionaire. They want to have the big house, the mansion. They want to have the cars or whatever it is you want. A lot of times it's glamorized. It's okay to strive for things if that's what you truly want. But if you're trying to fill a void, you want those things because you want to attract women, or you want those things because it's kind of what you were told you wanted, then that's not really being true to yourself. You want to really think about what do you really want. A lot of times people just want freedom. Freedom from being manipulated by society, having to work. Some people don't want to work. They want financial freedom. They want to be able to buy the things they want when they want. They want to be able to travel. Maybe they want a wife with some kids. Everybody wants different things. You kind of have to remember this because we get caught up in the day to day grind and we start to think that everyone wants what we want. We keep pushing harder, harder, but it seems whatever we want is going farther and farther away. That's kind of how it is with the law of attraction. The more we resist something and we try to force it, the farther it is away. It's like a dance. The energy flows freely. It should flow freely. If you're trying to force it to stay with you, it's not going to want to stay with you. The natural reaction would be to push away, go away. This is the same in all aspects of your life. Attracting things to you that you really want. And that means being the person that might be changing your identity, changing your whole life, changing your environment, your workplace, everything. It all happens with a mindset. So, most likely, you might be stuck wondering, what do I do? I want this, let's just say, I want this body for people who are into weightlifting and health. I want this body. Right now, I feel okay, I'm alright, but I just want this body because I think it'll make me feel better. You might not even know what it'll feel like. This might be something you've never done before. And a lot of times that's what it comes down to. You want something you've never done before. And the famous saying is, you want something you've never done before or you've never had, you're going to have to do something you've never done. So that's kind of what it is. That's where the identity shift comes in. What does that person do differently that you don't currently do right now? And you might not know, so you might have to talk to some people who are where you are. That's the best, is when you get to talk to people who've done what you've already trying to do. So ask them, get some tips from them. How did they do it? Pick their brain. Like what is their overall vibe, their overall energy? What kind of energy do they have? Because that's most likely the energy that you want to embody, especially if they check a lot of boxes off on the things that you want. Maybe they only check a few boxes, so be aware of that. You're only talking to them for this reason. It helps if you create a relationship. You have some type of rapport with this person, like your friends, or you know them, or even like a mentor or a coach, something like that. There has to be some kind of relationship where they give you something, but also you give them something as well too. An equal exchange of energy. So just knowing what you want, and then going back to that example, maybe you don't want that body. You just want to feel better about yourself. Maybe right now you feel sluggish. We're getting into springtime, so winter is ending. Where you are, it could be still snowing. It might be cold, so we're coming out of that. You might feel kind of sluggish. Maybe you want to get ready for summer. You want your summer body. So be aware of the environment as well. Like, what season is it in? Also, external factors that may have caused whatever you're feeling. Did you get divorced? Did you lose a job? Whatever it is, it's maybe some external factors that are making you feel a certain way. So just check in with yourself and kind of register like what is going on, why do I feel this way? And then ask yourself, why do you want what you say you want? It's good to know like what is the why? Why are you doing it? So in the case with the body, like I said, maybe you just want to feel better. So if you strive for, let's say, an extreme goal and you don't get it, but along the way you feel exactly how you want to, you feel better, you feel lighter, you're more agile, your health is better, then even though you didn't get to the end goal of whatever it is, you got to where you want it to be. So you're actually happy. That's kind of how it should be when you set goals and going after what you want. It's more of a spiritual journey as well. Like you're putting in the work, you're disciplining your spirit, and you're listening to your body. And in the end, you feel great. You feel good. Like you accomplished something. You're making steps. You see the progress. You take weekly check-ins, maybe every month you do a few check-ins or maybe just once a month, but you're checking in and you're seeing the progress and that uplifts your spirit. It gives you a sense of confidence or accomplishment, and it just makes you feel a whole lot better. Other people can see it, they can see your transformation, and they're probably cheering you on. Of course, you're gonna have others who kind of don't want you to change. They realize when you change, your energy changes and they might not be able to go with you. You might look at them differently. They're going to look at you differently. So, all these types of things can come into play when you're going after what you want, and the people around you, they've already given up on their dreams. They're settling for wherever they are. And that's fine. I mean, everyone has their own life, their own thoughts, their own perspectives. Maybe for whatever reason they're in that mode. Just because they're in a stagnant stage in their life, it doesn't mean they're going to be there forever. But if you're trying to move forward and progress towards your goals, that's not really the type of people you want to have around you. You want to have people who are going after what they want. And if it aligns with what you want, all the better. Because then you can support each other and then have an accountability partner where it's like, okay, you told this person this is what you wanted to do. You might have even given them a time frame, like by 3 months I want to lose, I don't know, this much weight. And then it just gives you someone who you can talk to, like, oh, um, how is the progress going with your goals? You might say, oh, I actually gained some weight. I wasn't good on the diet. I ate, is things happen like that, and that's okay. It's a journey. It's not gonna be perfect the first time you do it or any time you do it. You're gonna fail. You're gonna fall. Just pat yourself on the back. Don't be so hard on yourself. Um, and give yourself time. Like I said, like as even if you don't get to the goal within that time limit, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get to a stage where you're still happy, and then you can start the goal process over again. Like, okay, I'm starting it from this point right now, and then you can look back and this is what where I was before. So just things like that. I mean, you're seeing the progress, and you're able to just see the vision, keep the vision, the end goal, and you're taking steps towards getting there. So a lot of times when people do give up on their dreams, they have a certain mindset and they kind of project this onto others. They think that because they are not going after theirs, they try to put you down like, oh, why are you going after yours? That might not be a good idea. And all these kind of negativity projections onto you. You need to really be aware of this because this can affect you if you let it. Especially it could be in subtle ways, like just if they know you're trying to be on a health journey, maybe they'll get you to go out, try to get you to go out drinking, or always get you to go out and eat, or just not aligning with your goals. So you have to be aware, even just subtle remarks like, "Oh, why are you doing that? Just you only have one life to live. You might as well just eat. You don't know when you're gonna die." And that's true, but I mean, if you're going after something, you want the support from those around you. So just be aware of that. And there's a sense of accomplishment or fulfillment in just trying, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people, they don't even give themselves the chance to try because for whatever reason, maybe they're scared of failing, or maybe they're scared of the journey ahead. They think it's going to take a long time. When in reality, like you don't really know how long it's going to take. So if you're religious, spiritual, and you believe in God or the universe or whatever, that's the thing is we don't know how long it'll take. Our job is just to remain faithful to God, the universe, whatever, and have that vision and just take daily actions, daily steps. Have small mini goals, you know, like, oh, today, this is what I want to accomplish today. And then you could have within those small other accomplishments. And just take it day by day and step by step. When you break it down like that, it's a lot easier. You're focusing on just the next task instead of the whole process. When you do that, you kind of shock your system into thinking like, oh, it's gonna take a long time or this is gonna be really hard. Just focus on the task at hand and try to do that the best you can with all of your attention, all of your energy. The more you do this, the more it'll become a habit, and then you'll see like, oh wow, it's actually not that hard. I've learned to discipline my mind and train it to think a certain way so it's focused on the actual goal at hand. Like what is in front of me. I'm not worried about the past. I'm not worried about what others are thinking. I'm not even worried about the next step after this one. I'm fully committing to this step, and that's it. And you change your life that way, you know? I mean, it's one thing at a time, and don't rush. That's another thing too is people try to rush, they make mistakes, you know, is things that you can avoid. Sure, you're excited, you know, you might have seen some progress and you want to keep going, but that's part of it too. Is like I said, the discipline is learning the discipline to stay grounded in your energy. Just be happy with the journey where you are currently, and just keep moving forward. That's really how you make change, and it's a long lasting change. It's not just a quick fix, you know. The things you learn along the journey help you and change who you are as a person. How I said the identity, your identity will change because of the lessons that you learned. And you'll have that with you for the rest of your life. So it's priceless knowledge from experience. It's not just you're reading it from a book or you're hearing other people's stories. That's great. I mean, that's a start. But when you actually start taking steps to go towards what you want specifically, there's nothing that can replace that. And when you achieve it, no one can ever take that away from you, especially the things that you learned along the way. Whatever trials and tribulations, whatever obstacles you overcame, and whatever you had to deal with, that's with you. No one can take that. Like how I think it was Gandhi said, slavery is a mentality. That's definitely true. You know what I mean? Before there were slaves, and some of them were happy. They had the mentality of like, I'm alive, you know, I get to eat, and um, you might be around people like your family or just friends. So it's all about mindset. Um, don't let other people bring you down. I know you might be at a job you don't want to be at, and just maybe other things. You're in a relationship you kind of wish would be better, but start small. Like, think about some things that you want to change and why. And then if it has to do with a relationship and that other person is not treating you the way you want to be treated, and you've already given them the chance to change these things, the relationship is over. It's a one-sided relationship. They don't care about you. They're not trying to make the changes. So let them go. And even like the job, like if of course you need money, you know, stay there and try to create an exit plan, make some money on the side or something. But if that job is taking advantage of you and they're asking a lot of you and you're just kind of tired of it, then that's like your answer already, you know. I mean, it's time for you to leave. It's bringing you down energetically and on a mental aspect as well. It seems like it's just draining you. these are all things I've dealt with as well too. I mean, I'm not immune to these things. Everything I talk about, I have a story about it. So I've gone through these things as well, and that's why I try to help other people on their journey. Just try to share some things I've learned and let people know that they're not by themselves. So yeah, check out my website. I have different services I offer, you know. Also, if you're into tarot, I have a tarot channel, Kahuna Tarot. Check out that. But yeah, if you don't even have people to talk to, it's always good to start with books. Do things like this, podcasts or YouTube, even seminars. I've been to a lot of different seminars where it talked about mindset, it talked about business, everything that I've kind of compiling together. You know, I have goals that I'm working on right now that I'm trying to release. You know, in the future. So it's step by step, day by day. Take many steps, and sooner or later, you know, it's the goal is pretty much almost done already. So be on the lookout for new content and just all kinds of things. I mean, I have things I'm working on. So yeah, just keep up with the channel, subscribe, like all that good stuff, and share the videos as well too. But I'll see you in the next one.